Every engine has a heartbeat, and for nearly 50 years Jack's been the man keeping this one going. It's an Aveling Porter traction engine called Maud Foster. Today she fires up once more, driven by Jack's daughter and his grandson, Jack. We met them at the engine one windy morning in October 2025. So let's go take a look at this fantastic machine. So how long have you been firing up the engine?
Well, I mean, I'm 41 now, so I suppose since I was little and spent my time in the coal tender, so yeah.
So you've known Maud your whole life?
Pretty much, yeah. So childhoods were going to steam rallies and sitting in the back of the coal, really.
Hi Jack, did I see you driving this at the Bugsworth Steam Party in 2023?
I did, yeah. I've done them for the last 2 years. I got back into it like 2021-ish time, and me and my granddad spent quite a bit of time putting everything back together whilst it was being painted. And I've just got back into it and really enjoyed myself.
Like Grandad Jack, Jack Jr. discovered the magic of steam, learning the quirks, the maintenance and the craft that makes these machines live. So, it's had a paint job recently.
Yeah, it was painted in 2022, so 3 years ago it was painted, and it was finished just by early 2023. I've learned how to drive it in those past 2 years, how to maintain it and whatnot, but it's been good fun. I quite enjoy it, so I'll keep doing it.
So is this your main hobby now?
It is, yeah. It takes up a lot of time.
How often do you do things like maintenance of the boiler?
Oh, it's every winter you have to clean everything off and drain all the water through winter.
You don't want it freezing, do you?
No, because that can cause trouble. But there's always some bits you need to do in between, like sweeping tubes and whatnot, so always doing bits.
So from one generation to another, we now speak to the man who brought Maud into the 21st century. So Jack, when did you buy the engine, or did you inherit it?
No, I didn't inherit it. I bought the engine in 1979. It was steamable because it had been restored by a chap called Bert Sanderson over in Boston in Lincolnshire, and Mr. Bennett bought it as a steamable engine. He never took it to any steam rallies. Used to go little runs up and down through Mellor village with the whole of the back of the engine covered with children, and they'd all pile on and he'd give them rides. So we used to go whenever he was going to steam it up and help him a bit. So when he decided he was getting on a bit and time to get rid of the engine, he firstly offered it to my father. At the time, my father were busy restoring the new Mills Council roller that was here this last weekend. So he decided he couldn't deal with it with yet another engine. So it was then offered to me. So I went to a bank manager to see if he could lend me some money. I was 29 at the time. And he laughed at first, as you can imagine, because not many people go to bank managers, say, can you lend me some money to buy a steam engine? So he says, is it a passing phase? And I said, no, I don't think it will be. And here we are, what's this, 50 odd years later, and it's clearly not been a passing phase.
Jack's fascination with steam began as a schoolboy. Seeing Maud as he grew up, and then becoming her custodian. Jack didn't just acquire a machine, he inherited a story, one that would be passed down through his family. Today she makes the short journey from Bugsworth Memorial Club to Chapel-en-le-Frith. Restored in Boston, Lincolnshire, the last commercial owner, Mr. Rundle, had never named the engine. Apparently he suggested the name Maud to Bert Sanderson. Maud Foster's a famous lady from the 16th century who gave some of her land to protect the town from flooding. On that land, they built land drains. Her name still lives on in the land drain that's named after her and the great windmill that overlooks it. The engine's only doing a short trip today, but how many miles can you get out of a water tank?
Normal running, we can do 10 to 12 miles on a tank full of water before we need to stop and refill.
What's that hatch for?
That's an inspection hatch to let the boiler inspector have a look at the state of the boiler tubes and what state the boiler barrel is in. These are what you call the cladding sheets, and they just cover up the wooden lagging. You might be able to see some just in there, little thin strips of wood. The idea of that, obviously, is insulation, so that keeps the heat in the boiler barrel.
Is it true you cook inside the boiler?
I always used to just do baked potatoes in because it makes the best possible baked potatoes you could ever taste. But my daughter is a little bit more adventurous, as well as doing things like a gammon joint, which we put in a pot and cover around with kitchen foil so we don't get it all covered in soot. But it cooks meat, like roast meat, absolutely beautifully.
So what would the engine have been used for in its day?
Well, those things in the main, a threshing machine or a saw bench will be its main purpose. And obviously then towing such equipment about from farm to farm.
Not bad.
In their working days, the engines weren't really affordable by a typical size of farmer, and so this is where the agricultural contractor concept came in, because he would then buy an engine on HP, buy an engine, a threshing machine and everything else that was required, and he would go from farm to farm.
All right, let's go.
These engines were the backbones of rural life. Hauling, thrashing, powering machines, bridging fields and farms with their might. Steam is more than motion. It's strength, tradition, and hard-won skill. Each firebox burns with years of care and experience. Originally built for fields and farms, she now climbs roads built long after her prime. This bridge is where steam meets modernity. Maud's been through this bridge many times. It's a tight fit, but if she keeps to the middle, everything will be fine. You can see how close the chimney is to the archway there, just inches of clearance. Maud Foster chundles off into the distance. But her story, and Jack's story, keeps rolling forward, powered by family, memory and steam.